Hey guys, welcome to our Monday night stream. We're going to continue the Ben 10 Accelerate as a Kaiju. I do a couple of hellos. So we've got Noxie says yo, Tegan says hi, Minecraft Transformer says yo, Mr. E says hi, and we'll start. Just so everybody knows, I have turned subscriber only on. There's no set duration. It's just if you want to chat, then just need to be a subscriber so we can literally just keep the chat, no bots in there, and yeah, other than that, let's get started. Also, Red Knight says, hi, the Knight in Red is here. Hello, Red Knight. So, how's everyone's Monday going? Hopefully, it's going really good. And we're going to continue working on the details of this fella that we were working on last time. Just make sure I've got all the right brushes selected for what we need. Cool. Yo, Justin, how's it going? Oh, I like your profile picture. And Marin, hello. Oh, I like your profile picture as well. I've been watching a lot of his shorts and stuff. Cool. So we'll just continue with this kaiju, which is a bit of a epic one. I want to kind of try and remember what I was doing for details on this one. So we went going forwards and then just yeah, see how everyone is doing. Thanks, Mr. E. If they read your video horror theme, please do not do my AOC. Um, I've selected the ones that are going to be in the redraw, but I'm not saying which ones they are. I will say this, it is not horror themed. It is something different. I am still working on the script, dropping it out, but it is not horror. Well, it's dark, but it's not horror. So it should work out quite nicely. Let's just add this in here. I'll just utilize the ability to show how shiny this is a little bit. Just with the select tool to get what we want. Oh yes, emotional damage. That's going up there. Cool. Justin says, I know your superheroes guy can answer your two questions. Superheroes guy? What superheroes guy? Have I got a superhero guy? Have I got one? Other than Nexum and Ehrenfold, I don't really know if I got a superhero guy. Hmm, interesting. Oh, FNAF, it's not going too well. Oh, are you swamped with other life issues? Because if that's not, or I say life issues, sorry, not life issues. Things are busy at the moment. That's not a problem. I have it scheduled in as a video. But I also have another FNAF video I'm mapping out using some lore, so it will not be a issue whatsoever. If you haven't had time to do it for school requirements, just let me know. Worst case scenario, I will take what you've posted currently and I will build something based of that before the end of October. I do have a couple of videos I will definitely be doing in October to drop out, which would be quite good. And emotional damage. Um, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's not a problem. If it's a case of I take what you do as the starting point and I build upon that, and you're happy for that, then that's not going to be an issue. We'll just see what happens from there. Red Knight says, who do you think will win, Megatron or Frieza? Oh, Frieza. I'm afraid a Dragon Ball Z character will win over Megatron. Well, it depends what version of Megatron. Which version of Megatron? If it's the Dark Energon Megatron from one of the series, potentially he could win. If it's Galvatron, it'll be a tough fight between him and Frieza, but I still think Frieza will have the upper edge. Um, Apple Flavors. Hello, I decided to check out what's going on. How's it going? It's going good. We're just working on our Accelerate Kaiju we started on the last live stream and just answering a few questions while we start dropping this in and sort some bits out, which is quite cool. So it's a chill stream on a Monday. I used to have music on my live streams. I really do need to find some time to sit down and get the music to come back into play. It has been a while since we've done that. Uh, my questions are the prior message. Prior message, prior message. Let me have a look. I've missed this. Justin, I don't see a prior message. I just see make sense on my chat. Sorry, I can see now. How well do you think Ben would do if he fought Batman's villains? And do you think Ben has a counter with the Joker's gas, especially on that one that transfers the mind? I think Ben's alien forms could probably be some of them would be immune to the gas to transfer, especially ones like Wildvine and that. They're more plant-based, or the hybrid, I think it is. Is it the hybrid? I think it's the hybrid. Those ones probably would be harder to do. Ghost Freak might be an interesting one to see if the gas would actually work on him because he can go intangible. Same as Big Chill. So he could counter it with some of the aliens' powers. In terms of uh, how well do you think Ben would do if he fought the Batman villains? I think Mr. Freeze would probably be the trickiest one because if he doesn't get a Heat Blast or Big Chill, unless um, he gets a powerful alien, he could be in a lot of trouble with that one. Not to say he couldn't win with most of his aliens, but it does depend. If he was facing Batman, he'd lose. It doesn't matter what aliens or gadgets or gizmos. Batman would lose an initial battle, I think, and then he would just literally annihilate Ben in the next one. He's taken on Superman and all the other Justice Leagues, and pretty much when in the cartoons when like Luthor and the Legion of Doom used or whoever it was used the contingency plans he set up, he nearly wiped out the entire Justice League. So Batman definitely would do well. Getting back to some of the other chat, we've got Southern Anna says, my question is, what is your favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Lucario. I absolutely love him. I like martial arts, so it ties in really well when I do martial arts. But my favorite, I just love the whole concept and design. It's just really cool. So that's my favorite Pokemon. I do like Mega Lucario, but I think normal Lucario is quite cool. Got to find a way to stand him back up where he was now. There we go. Don't fall off. So he's my favorite Pokemon. What's your favorite Pokemon? What else we got? Um, Hot Cross did a flip. What do you mean he did a flip? Is this like in his video or something? I haven't watched it. I'll watch it later. I've seen all the artwork because I'm on his Patreon, so it's quite cool. I just need to watch the lore and the process, which I love doing. Um, I missed Gallahan 19's question. He says, "Hey DempseyJ, we're about 1 week away from the community draw. Actually, I'm planning for that Friday. If things go to plan, it will be Friday for the community redraw. So we are less than a week away from it. I have selected who's going to be whose submissions are being done, and I'm writing the script. I'm not worried about drawing because um, I've got it planned out for what I'm doing on this one. I might tweak the designs, might do something like a little tweak to them, but I've got it all planned out. So the community redraw will be happening this Friday as long as everything goes to plan this week. It's going to be a very busy week. I'm also working on next Friday's video, scripting behind the scenes and the research, and the video after that one. So I'm kind of working on 3, 4 videos at the moment. Um, Kind of outdoing it, but yeah. Justin says Ben has never transformed into a hybrid. He was, oh dear, but he has got the hybrid DNA in there, and I'm sure in one of the animated series it showed him transforming into a hybrid at some point. I don't think it was Alien Force or was it Ultimate Alien or was it one of the other ones or movie? He did transform into one at one point, which is why I said the hybrid. But if he's already used his Omnitrix to recombine the DNA of them all, he's got the ability to transform into them anyway. Um, What else we got? Yeah, Minecraft Transformers. I do know you got to remember the size of Freezer, but you've also got to remember Freezer's got the Destructo discs that slice through pretty much anything. So depending on Megatron, it could be interesting. Red Knight says, "Oh, that giant plushie's coming at the end of this month." Oh, nice. Um, Marin, that's fine. Do what you can do. If you can't do anything major on it, don't fret. Um, give the general gist of what you want or where the story is going, where you think, and outline bits, and I can flesh that out. As long as I know which character um, and where you decide you want to go with it. I've got all the characters, personalities, and everything copied down onto a script for research. I went to the wiki and got all their information because I got quite interested in what you were saying in your script for the SCP one, which is quite cool. Seven Anna says Mimikyu and Lucario. Nice. I do need to do something with Mimikyu at some point as a short on the channel. I think I might either do Pikachu playing as a Mimikyu and hiding underneath it, or do something else quite fun. I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to go with yet, but it will be quite interesting. In fact, while I've done that, let's just do a section. Sometimes I do sections in one go, sometimes I don't. But doing live, you can kind of see my process. If you've got any art questions as well, or any questions about the process I'm doing, feel free to just ask away. Um, Quite cool. Uh, Galahand19 says, "May I ask what ideas do you have in mind for the Jungle Darkness, Dawn of War community redraw?" Now I've got a few ideas in mind. There are a couple other tribes that could possibly be dropped in. I don't mind saying this because this isn't spoilers, as such. There's some other tribes, but I also might make another twist into it, which would be quite cool. However, I'm not going to say what that is because I'm not doing super spoilers. Um, I'm not doing a huge amount of spoilers on that. I have some ideas for adding some more tribes into it or fleshing out the story a bit more. However, I haven't actually got the ideas out of my head onto that yet, mainly because there's been other priorities from redraw to other videos that need to be done. And if they're not done right, then it doesn't work. So what I'm doing is I tend to get the main, to be honest, my process is similar to Pop Crosses if you've seen it. I tend to get the main dark areas out that I want blocked out done with a mark selection tool and a solid fill. And then on the next layer, I use a multiply layer set to 50% at the moment. Sometimes it's hard light, sometimes it's multiply. And then I add in this case, it's kind of like a bluish color to it to give the shadows a bit of depth on the skin and a bit more emphasis. And then I basically have two multiply layers, or a hard layer on this one because of the color at 50%, a multiply layer at 50%, which is just the soft lights over the top to make them darker, a normal overlay layer at full, a additive or glow layer depending on your program at 50%, which I use a soft airbrush for as well, and then another add layer for any extra details on top. And then I just literally use the select tool, nothing filled in, and just start selecting out the bits of detail on the coloring stage after I've done the flats, which allow me to do these kind of, I can make them a little bit more uh, detailed, but it does allow me to kind of select sections where I can highlight bits out if I want, and then using the soft layer about 10% or less, and depending on the size of the brush, I can just go onto the layer that I want and just lightly build them up for how intensive I want them at certain points. Um, and I just worked with that, doing that repeatedly for the details, which worked quite well. Uh, let's see what else we've got in the chat because I've missed a little bit of the chat while I was talking on. If Batman met Kid Ben, he would think he's worse than the Turtles. If he met Teen Ben in Force Season 1 2, he would have respect for him. If he has met Teen Ben from onward, it's the same as Kid Ben. I think in that case, Justin, Batman would treat him like Robin. Uh, Lot to learn, uses patience, but does his head in, and you can see him getting frustrated. I think that would be how that would most likely play out, um, which is quite cool in a way. I think because he's had several Robins over the years, he's learnt patience with kids because he never really had a lot of patience in the first place, um, which is quite cool. I think I'm gonna just add one more weird shine bit along here, just to emphasize a little bit of effectiveness, but not quite so intense. Yeah, that looks quite cool. Uh, I like commentating non-stop, post to a flip, and he finally did it. Oh wow, was it an actual flip? Like he recorded video of him actually just running and doing a flip or something? Because I suppose I could probably do something like that. Apple favors, if I may, your voice is pretty soothing to me for some reason. As a compliment, like not a flirt or anything, because that's weird for someone to say in a stream. No, thank you, I do appreciate that. Some people have said they find my voice soothing at times, depending how I'm speaking. I don't know if it's because depending where you are, I've got an accent, or I don't really have an accent myself. I can't hear it myself. Um, but I do know that my eldest, when I do my character voices or record my stories and lore, if he is here, he cringes at my voice. He doesn't like it, which I find absolutely hilarious and funny. I actually love it. It is quite fun to wind them up. In case anybody's wondering, if he does pop in the stream or anything, it's either under that kind of artistic kid or DempseyJ Gaming. That is my eldest child. Uh, Red Knight says, I think that my OC will not get picked for this redraw video. Um, I'm not saying who is and who isn't in the redraw video. I will be doing honorables, so everyone's submission who submitted will be shown in the video. In terms of the ones that got picked, I have a secret random selection method on my redraws. Um, it is very scientific. It is called a random spiel winner, a random wheel spinner, and I pick at least one from emails and one from Discord myself, and anything else in there gets done from that generator. Um, I have two wheels going, so I will select a number from the Discord entries and a number from the email ones. And there have been one or two other ones that have been behind the scenes via Instagram and stuff because of technical issues. So they are added, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Uh, Apple flavors, yes, exactly. It's a random generator. You've got as much chance of anybody else. I cannot say who has and who has not been selected because that is not that's a spoiler, and I'm not going to do that. If your image is shown in the thumbnail or the teasers this week, then congratulations. I don't give credit as much as I should do on that one, but I will probably do a shout out on that one. But yeah, it'll be quite interesting. Um, Galahound19 says, I think your Monster Hunter Fusions episode went really well. What ideas do you have for the sequel? I've got a Godzilla base no one's used. I don't even know if you guys have heard of before. So I'm going to be using a Godzilla base in the sequel. I'm also going to be using some other Monster Hunter creatures I haven't even heard of. I've watched the uh, film, which was absolutely amazing. I haven't played the game, but I love the whole concept of Monster Hunter. And I've watched the League of Legends, Guild of Legends, whatever it is, Monster Hunter 1, the movie, which is quite cool. But I haven't actually played the game, which I need to do at some point. I will need to do that at some point. But yeah, my plans are basically to fuse a load of characters that either haven't been heard from before or characters that have an interesting design from them. Suggestions are welcome, and if it falls into it, that'll be great. There'll probably be three, maybe four drawings, but I have selected one pair already, so I'll be interested to see what the rest of it is. Um, It might have been Justin. It could have been one of the movies or the reboot or something where they've had it. I thought he had turned into a hybrid, but either way, he has that DNA in his Omnitrix after his encounter with them. So, in theory, he could potentially turn into one of them to avoid having his mind swapped by the Joker's gas, which would be quite interesting. It would also be interesting because even if his mind is swapped when he's in alien form, would some of them, like Ghost Freak, had their own consciousness? So would it be the alien's consciousness that swapped? Because imagine if Alien X and Joker tried to swap over with that, and then has to deal with two celestial beings that are arguing, and he's got to try and convince them. That would be a really funny series. Um, I did miss some earlier. I think someone said, Apple Flavor says, I'm working on a fusion of the maned wolf, Carnage, and a werewolf. That sounds pretty cool. Sorry, Apple Flavor. I was going to mention that one earlier because that sounded cool, but I lost it in when the chat moved. Um, Tegan says, I have a clay or a clay snake on my finger. A real snake. Um, what would I fuse with Gigan? I don't know on that one. It would be interesting. To be honest, I don't think I'd say what I'd fuse with anything at the moment. There are so many cool ideas and suggestions by people if they want to see a sequel, which would be quite cool. But also, I think it would be quite cool to just randomly go through them and select them, which would be interesting. Uh, Justin says, "Be right back." That's cool. Ben, welcome. Is that a Xenomorph Grey War Greymon behind me? I've got no idea. Wow, the chat's really moved. I'm still back up here, and you guys are way down the bottom. Right, let's get through a couple of these. Xenomorph War Greymon behind me? No, but a Xenomorph Digimon would be a really cool series. Uh, I says, Flavor says, stay confident because if you do your best, stay persistent, it feels just as good. And like you overcame your goal, then you can try again. Uh, you got it. Apple Knight means a 4 of 10. Yeah. Red Knight, don't forget that we also have, you're not, I know you're not a fan of the Halloween stuff coming up, but it is your favorite time of year soon. And I do tend to do, I am planning to put out the, uh, a Christmas themed potential Christmas themed redraw at the end of November, end of October, so it drops in November. That's not 100% confirmed yet between that and December, um, but it will be. There will be some Christmas themed around December, which I know you like. Um, what time do you normally start a stream? As I was late to this one. Um, Seven Anna, it varies depending on my Monday, but usually around about 10:15 GMT, which is roughly the time I started this one, and I'll be going until it could be anywhere between up to about 1 a.m., so about 2 to 3 hours when I stream. Hopefully the time zone does work for you. I don't know if it does, but I'm still going to be doing this illustration probably till finish, so we could be here a couple of hours yet. So feel free to drop on by if you can, but thank you for joining the stream. How about inset screen for your next SCP Yu-Gi episode? Possibly. I haven't actually planned that out. I've got it planned in some point, but I haven't actually planned the content for that out just yet. Um, as with everything, it's like I've got a few cool ideas. I'm even working on some stuff that I haven't done before. That being said, I do have something happening with video game characters, which is being requested for a while, so that one's going to be quite cool. Um, Apple flavors, yes. So the submissions are closed for the September one, which will happen at the end of this week. But at the end of Friday's video, there will be a theme and information to do a community redraw like Popcross does. So I do community redraws as well. I do uh, one a month, but the last couple of months it has been into two kind of videos split up, doing three on each. However, I'm going to try and do them all as one because I'm this month. Hopefully it won't go into two videos, but I am trying to get them all down as uh, one video for this month at least. And you can submit for the theme. Usually it's a headshot, a body shot, what the subject of the theme is, and then a little bit of the description or blurb for it. You can submit it via the Discord and via an email address, and then I just take them at the end of the month and just do them. So yeah, we do community redraws as well. They usually come out roughly the same time as pop crosses near the end of the month. There have been one or two crossovers on our redraws actually. There was a Pokemon themed one uh, a little while back, and somebody submitted the same design to both. So me and Pop Cross decided to do that design, but we didn't say which one we were picking out of the design, and we did the same design but a different spin on it, which was really cool. So it was really fun. Um, but yeah, we do community redraws. Hound 19 says, "Hey, what do you think of Rayquaza mech armor for your next Pokemon mech episode?" Rayquaza's on my list for a few things actually. I'm not sure about mech armor, but a dragon version of it is kind of going to be a little bit. I think the dragon version is a little bit too obvious. As cool as it would be turning Rayquaza into an actual dragon, it kind of is a dragon on its own, like a legendary sky dragon. So I think I would turn Rayquaza into. I'm not sure about a dinosaur, maybe. That'd be quite interesting, quite cool. Um, so yeah, a dinosaur version could be quite cool. But it all depends because a mech armor would work. I just guess I need to figure out the ins and outs for it for Pokemon Mech Armor episode. Um, I am quite heavily into fusions at the moment, so there is another fusion episode coming up in a couple weeks' time, which is it's similar to the Pop Cross design challenges where you use multiple things together, but it should be I wanted to do something with two of these since the Godzilla. Well, one of the ones that I'm using, I'm not going to say exactly what it is. I got inspired from the Godzilla design challenge, the collab video, because there was a submission in that of a character, and I love the artwork, I love the style, I love the lore behind the game, and I want to do something with it. So I'm going to be doing that. I've started mapping that out, and then there's another one. Another part of that is there's a game that's come out called Party Animals, and I thought that'd be quite cool to add into a video. So I've got that in the works, which is quite cool. But yeah, there's some fusion stuff coming out, usual demons and SCPs and stuff, so it's going to be quite interesting. Um, Hello, Omen Heart. Wow, you did enter. Definitely should check in and hope I get my drawing in, but definitely next one. I'm not going to rush or something. No, that's fine. You can also, I don't limit the redraw drawings to be something you've drawn that month. So if there is a drawing you've drawn before and it fits the theme of the redraw, you're more than happy to submit that and change a bit of lore, change a bit of it to tie in with the story. I have no problems with that. It's just a case of I will give the deadline at the end of the video. I usually put in a community post as well afterwards. Um, I have asked people, so I will just double check. The inks from doing the redraw, not the final product, but probably the inks, I will put on the members area um, for those that are members, and probably on the Patreon. If you're happy with that from the designs that are done with whatever's done with your submission, but you get also the final artwork in a high-res version that you can print off to use as a or download to use as a wallpaper on your phone, a profile picture. Some people have used those as profile pictures on here. You can use it background desktops. You can get a poster printed. You'll get the high-res version of the final artwork. It's a little something extra. Usually that happens within a week after the redraw's done. Um, Red Knight, a lot of time you had bad luck, but you also had a few that I didn't actually get your submissions for, in all fairness. I don't know why, but they weren't coming through. So we've solved that. I did get your submission of your one for this month, which is it's quite a cool design actually, which is quite cool. But as I say, I'm not saying which ones are and which ones aren't in this redraw, just because of the fact that spoilers takes all the fun away. But I have had there's some really cool designs, and I watch a lot of Crunchyroll, so I've taken some inspiration from a couple of things for that for future videos as well and ideas, just so people are kind of aware there's going to be like uh, mishmash storylines and stuff from it. I kind of love the whole. I've been a fan of anime for a while, and some of the storylines are really cool. So I'm going to try and twist some of them into what we can do. Uh, Marin's back. Welcome back. Speaking of which, speaking of which, of League of Legends, two projects can announce for it in the direct. Did they? That's quite cool. Quite interesting to see what's going on. I don't actually have much done with League of Legends or a few other genres, so I'm branching into new franchises on the channel. I think it'd be quite cool and quite fun to have a couple franchises that I haven't used before merged in with stuff and then put a spin on it. So there's a video games one, but it's also got a spin on it from some earlier on in the uh, videos on the channel, which is quite cool. But yeah, so the regional video theme is something with dark. So will your idea who is in the live chat? I'm not saying who's going to be included in it, Red Knight, whether you're in the chat or not. I'm lips are sealed. I'm still writing up the script on that. I have picked a number of suggestions for it. It'd be quite interesting and quite cool. So we'll get to that bit when we get to it. Also, I'm skipping half the chat. Koi Gaming, congratulations on being a member for 6 months. And you said, do you know the anatomy of a turtle? Do you really? Yes, it's pizza. It's made up of pizza and ninja. That's all the anatomy of a turtle I need to know. Um, the most random question going, but yeah. Also, Stella Kitsune, hello. Stella, October. I have that scheduled in. I have that mapped out. I have that planned. I'm writing the script as one of the future videos. That is October, guaranteed. I spent a lot of time trying to get my head around stuff for it and slot that in and get that done. So I want to do some justice. So October, that is coming out. But it is as blank. You won't know what it is. Let's have a look at what I missed. Um, two important things. The first one's really cool, Marin. The second one, that's a life lesson. Some are, some aren't. True friends will always have your back no matter what, even if that the ones that are your true friends are the ones that are honest and tell you straight, regardless of what they come across as. That's a true friend. Um, and they've always got your back. Suggestion, different symbiotes with animals. Possibly. That's not a bad idea. I have looked at doing. I did two animals as demons on one video. I think I took a dog or a puppy and an otter, and I turned them into demonic creatures on a video at one point. So doing animals as demons is quite cool. We do also have our phobias of dragons, which is really cool. So we take phobias, um, more common phobias that people have, and I try and turn them into dragons with a bit of lore and story. Usually Demonica Darkstorm, the demon narrator on the channel, does that. And I'm waiting for Justin to drop asking me to speak as one of the narrators into the channel at some point because I know he does it, which is quite cool. I'm doing good, Omen Heart. I just got back in from doing a martial arts lesson a little while before the stream, and I am now just working on this illustration, which I'm having quite a fair bit of fun on actually. I tend to like doing the live streams because sometimes I can get a bit more illustration in than some of the other uh, bits that we do on the channel because it does become a little bit complex at times to do everything. The reason is if we're doing a video and it's sped up, I have to have it I'd have to work within a region. So I'd have to work within this kind of area here for everything on the selection tool. So when I zoom in, I have to bear in mind that invisible box for an area. But when it's live, I can zoom right in because otherwise, when it's the video, and I apologize for anybody's eyes going blurry on this one. If it's sped up, I'm kind of like zooming in here, moving here, zooming out here, looking here, doing this, zooming in here, and it goes so quick, it's really jarring. Whereas what I want to do is have it where it's a nice. So say I'm working on this arm in a video, you'll see that this arm is kind of worked on this way, and these do get worked on at a slower pace than a lot of other bits, but at the same time it's also yeah, I don't want that. At the same time, it's also a case of some bits of detail aren't really needed on some of these because of where they're hidden. So I could pay attention to the bits in the light for the detail, but the bits where they're hidden kind of doesn't really matter, which is a good way of drawing a focal point. Uh, are you referring to the Universal Movie Monsters Christmas characters? I'm not spoiling anything. I just know there's going to be a Christmas themed redraw. I almost debated doing what Popcross did and not doing a redraw for a month at some point and making it two redraw full on proper redraw videos at the end of 2 months. But I don't know. I like the idea to buy more time for other videos, but I'll see how things go. Um, but I have been doing like two videos on the redraws for the last couple of months, splitting them up. I just want to do one as a solid piece this month. Uh, hey Noxie, welcome back. What else we got? So jumping back, welcome Wyatt. I've just seen you in the stream. I'm catching up with the chat as we're doing things, so I will probably need to do a bit of drawing actually. It's quite nice to have a faster flowing chat, which is quite cool. Um, which I'm not used to, as you can tell. It's nice to see some growth on the channel from the videos. And welcome to everybody who's new today. It's really cool. Um, Dempsey, you could work with Marcus, Ladybug, or Cat Noir, like fuse Marcus characters with something, but all I can come up with is your characters. I do have a few. I will be fusing cartoon characters with something or doing something with cartoon characters. I'm torn between doing some of retro characters that I grew up with, which have got some really cool designs. I think I could have fun with, and doing something with more modern characters that everybody kind of knows. So it's a bit of a catch-22 on that one. I'm still working out which one I would prefer to do most. I might just do both. I might tie them into a video. Maybe I should fuse retro characters with modern characters. That could be quite an interesting one. I'm trying to figure out how to make these like crystal bits because these crystal bits are inspired by a monster from the Godzilla and Monster Hunter Kaiju sequel that I'm adding into it. Um, Uh, Apple says, I hope the art goes well. Bless all and have a great day no matter what time zone you're in. I'll make sure to submit for the next redesign. Everyone stays alive. I guess by that you're off Apple flavors. Yeah, I might have missed this bit, but thank you for joining the stream. If you are, if I see you later, then I'll chat to you a bit later on here. But yeah, um, I think I know what Friday's video might be. Justin, what do you think Friday's video is? I know what Friday's video is. I've already mentioned it in the stream as well, but do you mean what I'm doing in the video, or do you mean just what type of video it is? Because they're two completely different things. Right, so let's try and get this in because I need some structure into some of this for this. Yeah, that'll work for what I want for that bit. Um, Omen Heart says you realise two things. I'll see what they are in a bit. SCPs are Tyranids designed MTFs into Space Marines. That would be quite cool for Warhammer one, actually. No, that happened in 1 week. My code name is fair enough, though. That's not a problem, Marin. That's cool. Again from Oppenheimer. Um, Justin says, I won't say it. I'm just thinking that I'll do what might be okay. Thanks for answering my questions, but it's time to go. Got work tomorrow. No worries, Galahad 19. I'll catch you later. Um, let's jump down a bit. Oh, Myron, that yeah, that happens. Unfortunately, yeah, they're not. They are just they're being teenagers or kids or whatever age group they are. It's like that standard. That's the same regardless. You even get that in adult life. So yeah, don't worry about it. Just ignore them. Uh, I'll let the material. I will let the material hasn't come yet. I'll be working on Red Knight when I was a kid, and he has gone through overlooks the one that looks as combined. Oh, that's quite cool. Can you do in each of the character voices how they'd react with pineapple pizza? Oh, that'll be quite interesting. A Coinfish Gaming, yes, he says, show your love by tapping that like. It's a free way to give back to your favorite creators. Yes, if you're enjoying this content and you like the content on the channel or any of the videos, be sure to leave a like on them so I know and on the streams because if you're liking the content, there's a higher chance of doing more streams of this nature with these characters as well as some more Ben 10 Kaijus, more demons, Pokemon combinations, fusion live streams, fusion videos, Godzilla monsters, the fusions part two and stuff, and just all in all, just more real. It helps me create content that you guys will enjoy because it's content you all like, and I really do enjoy doing a lot of the topics on the channel. In all fairness, I absolutely love doing them, and I'm trying to push my art a little bit on some of this, but I just want to get some of these sections in first because I just need to see how this reacts to some of the darker sections. It needs to have a bit of a gradient in there, and then it needs to have a bit more of a design on here. And I'll check the chat in a minute because it's moving. Um, so Justin says, can I do in each of the character voices how they react to pineapple pizza? So Nexon would probably be, pineapple pizza? What the heck is this? Hey kid, yeah you, take this pizza back and make me a new one. I mean, pineapples on pizza? What kind of monster are you? Aaron Ford will probably be, pineapple pizza. I'm gonna slay this one. Gotta get your protein and your food and your everything you can while you can, Nexum. You don't want it? Good old Nexum here, I'll have it. Someone like a Darkstorm would probably be, um, Nexum, darling, won't you have the pineapple pizza for me? I would absolutely love for you to, well, devour this pizza for me. And then she'd basically relish in the fact that he's struggling as he's eating it. Dino Dinoclaw would probably be, um, taking the mickey out of Nexum because he likes to. Probably go, here we have the great and brave Nexum, interdimensional mech armor creator who is afraid of a pineapple pizza. Um, Connor Farley would probably go, let's try and get Connor's voice in while I'm remembering. Park. Well now, pineapple pizza. Hang on, let me get a drink a second because his accent's the one I've done the most of. Well now, pineapple pizza is it? Here at the Foundation, we have such like monsters made from pineapple and pizza. And my voice went weird there. Pineapples and pizza. I can't do Irish for pineapple and pizza. I'll work on that one. That's going to be interesting. That one. See, pineapple and pizza, pineapple on a pizza, car, pineapple pizza and car. Nope, can't do it. I'll work on that one. Um, how will you obviously do in Christmas and Halloween? What's their favorite holiday season? Um, oh, I think after the debacle with the Deception Under the Mistletoe episode where the cabin got destroyed and we found out the Monica was a double agent. Any of you that haven't known this and you're new on the channel, the Monica works for the bad guy. Spoiler alert. It is a part of the story and it will be touched on more, but she works for the bad guy, who is our Galhan 19, not Galhan 19, our Go for Dude 88, based on his cat Loki from a community redraw video, and he's become the main villain of the story, which is quite cool. So bear in mind that Monica's a double agent, but I've got more in store for her. Turn Street Shark mutants into Malacus holders. That'd be quite funny. Predator into Kaiju. Ooh, that would be interesting, Koi. Uh, Kwamis are enough. Do you want to trust mutant sharks with that kind of power? Yes. I think it's the long-awaited Black Clover episode. It's not, I'm afraid. There is plans to do something with a Black Clover theme, or a similar genre theme to Black Clover. I haven't done one in a while. I mean, it's not exactly a Black Clover episode. I suppose certain aspects could be tied into a Black Clover type episode, but it's not deliberately based on Black Clover. It's based on another couple of anime that I think would be quite cool. Just for the initial introduction concept to it, I will be fleshing out the story a bit more if it does well. Um, which is always a fun thing to have and to do on the channel. I do like fleshing out the stories a bit more when we do them or tying them in. Also, I will be, when we get to 3,000 subscribers, redoing um, another episode of the multiverse story arc, where we venomized all Marvel, DC characters, and Transformers, and we've got them in this massive epic battle. Last we left off, Soundwave was in a cocoon being venomized. Three of the Dinobots were venomized, including Grimlock, and the other two are waiting to get turned into their creatures, which is quite cool. Going to lurk mode, be back later. No worries, Koi. Oh, and by the way, I'm seated with her at the chemistry and biology class. Well, yeah, you got chances there then. Um, uh, I get what you mean. I'm just saying, morally, do you want them to have it? They would just be as bad as Kwami's. Morally, I'm not really worried about it. Read your video into One Piece characters. No, I did want to do something with One Piece, but I didn't do anything for the redraw on it. It's from an anime. You may know, you may not know. It depends. So I'm not doing any spoilers on it. It's one that I'm enjoying watching, and I watched recently, and I kind of inspired as I was watching it. So it's quite cool. Um, Alan Animations. Hi. I've finally gotten down the chat to where you are. Have you heard about banana pizza? I've tried it. It's not bad. I don't like bananas, so no, I wouldn't be trying that. Emma Hart says, first thing I realised, I forgot to send the first episode of the webtoon that I believe you'd like. What's the webtoon called? Do you know what it was called? The name of it? And I'll let you know if I've read it already or looked at it already. I read a lot of webtoons. I have to be disciplined with it because when a new one comes out and it's got like 400 chapters, I kind of watch it, I kind of read it all in one go, and then I'm like, I've done nothing I need to do, which is really bad, really bad. Second thing I realized, did you ever send the redraw of Demon Plushius? I've been checking my Gmail, but nothing. I sent it through several times. I don't know why people aren't getting it. I even I can put a link for you. How am I going to do this? I've sent it a couple of times. It has gone via email. It has gone to your address as a returned email bit. Imanhart, do you have Instagram or something you can message me on? This is my backup plan. If you've got Instagram and you can fire me a direct message on that, I will send it to you on there, the high res version. So you'll definitely get that as soon as I get that. So it'll be by tomorrow. I have sent it several times to you, to the same email address it came from. I don't know why it's not there. Can you also check your spam, junk, and archive folder just in case? Um, what else we got? You don't see any bears? Nope, but I see Go Goku and Vegeta. A nice little night top where they're wearing Adidas, which I thought was quite cool. Um, which I've got recently. Uh, Does anybody else agree that Terry Crews would make a perfect live action chef from Total Drama? Possibly. It's next, do be doing anything Demonica says, like Demonica. Nexon, darling, would you please fight that world-destroying demon? Yeah, of course, Demonica. Anything for you. Yeah, he would be actually. There might be some limits, but I'm pretty sure he would be fighting almost anything for Demonica. He's got that kind of mentality. He's sweet. Although he would probably also fight it if Benny Sharp was fighting it and he was told to stay out of it by Benny Sharp. Since those two met in an episode, that was, when we first started doing narrators on the channel and we created a mech armor one. Everybody wanted it, so I created it, which is really, really cool. And then, yeah, uh, Popcross decided he would quite kindly do some lines for that episode. So that was the episode that gave Nexon his kind of traumatized impression of Benny Sharp. That was so much fun to do. So weird as well, going from a shout out on the channel to a couple lines in a video to a collaboration a year and a bit on. It's so surreal. Especially because I was watching Popcross before that. It's one of the channels that inspired me to kind of like put lore in my art and my own stories and my own versions of it. So yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. So work hard, be consistent, be polite, be professional. Just do what you can do to achieve what you're going to do, and someday something awesome will happen. It's the only way to describe it. Uh, Banana and pizza, Italian pasta bros will be disappointed, and it's going to be like, because you are a failure. Possibly. Look behind you, it's Fox dancing the Cupid Shuffle, simultaneously doing the windmill. Oh, that'll be interesting to see. Stella Kitsune says, I am just doing a Halloween Pokemon for my future Prima region. Oh, that's the one. Is that the one with the it is you, isn't it, Stella, that's doing um the really cool backgrounds for your own Pokemon region on the Discord, isn't it? That old-timey fantasy effect paper. Because I have to say, I don't know how you did that background, but that's the best looking background I've seen for an old-timey effect, and it's incredible. I might steal that as inspiration if that's cool. Don't know where you got the background from. If you've done it yourself, then obviously I won't pinch it. But if you've got it from somewhere, please let me know on the Discord if that is your design, if that is yours, because that looks awesome. That's like that is such a cool, um, yeah, that is so cool, that effect. Basically, it looks like a proper old time map, if anybody's wondering, which is absolutely incredible. It's like old map paper digitally. I don't know how or where you got it from, but it's some of the best I've seen, and I'm like, amazing. I don't want to pinch stock footage or anything from it or that type thing. Do a Google search and take an image for reference and drop it in. I might make my own actually at some point. Maybe. We'll see. But no, that looks so cool. So yeah, high praise there, hey. So much so I'm trying to pinch it. Um, I don't have Instagram, but it's possible to send it via Discord. Yes, I forgot you on the Discord. I will send it to you on the Discord. I don't have it open right now, but I will because I moved the artwork over, I will send it to you on the Discord, Omen Heart. I completely forgot you're on the Discord, so that'll be quite cool. I will do that for you. I'll do that by tomorrow for you. I'll try and do it after the end of the stream actually, because I need to get it up on its own hard drive. Um, Red Knight, really, Nixon, do you do what that demon say? Yes, yes, he does. He fancies the moniker, so he's going to do what the moniker asks. There's no two ways about it. You're talking about uh, a guy who's absolutely sweet on the moniker. He doesn't care she's a demon, and he got so close to kissing her in Deception under the mistletoe, and the whole cabin exploded. Justin, forget the most important thing. Big time YouTuber milestone goal that they hit and visited YouTube creators panel. I've missed them up, Justin. Um, can you elaborate that a little bit for the forgot the most? Did I forget the most important thing? Big time YouTuber milestone goal that they hit and visited YouTube creators panel. Possibly. I mean, my biggest goal for YouTube I want to do is get 100K and subscribers, which would be amazing, while building the community up. But also, I want to just be able to do this full time. So get enough income from this to go full time on YouTube. It's not as simple as people think nowadays, which is kind of a bit annoying, but it's one of those things. But I would love to do this full time, just literally be able to do this every day, like 9 to 5, rather than doing it after my 9 to 5. Marion says, "Do you want to hear a funny story?" Sure. Um, Next to Mr. Simp, he's not a simp. He just likes the moniker. He just fancies her. I forgot the most important thing. Oh, that's going. Yes. Ah, cool, Stella. I did like that. It makes your Pokemon bit stand out so much more. I'm thinking about making a reboot comic about that reboot Ben 10, and I said I was going to make. Oh, you should do it. Do it and see what happens. It'll be quite cool. Literally searched up old scroll on it and found that. Ah, nice. Minecraft Transformers. Did you see the Koi song contest? I did. I did. I saw that in there. Um, I'm not entirely sure what I think about it. I'm. I want to submit a song for him to start singing, which would be really funny. I don't know if he's got a good singing voice or not. Koi, if you're lurking in the background, do you have a good singing voice? Or are you like me? Slightly tone deaf and could probably clear a room in 10 seconds flat, because that actually make it even funnier. Um, uh, and that was for my Legends Rayquaza, and that was for a short region. When I want a break from that design, the pretty much. Oh, that's quite cool. Lemon says also you want to see if you read the webtoon. Take a pause while drawing and look up Universalis and interactive webtoon. All of it. Okay, I will have a look on that. I won't do it right now, but I will have a look on that and see what comes up. I've been watching a lot of Banished Disciple. Sorry, reading a lot of Banished Disciple, Marshall Pete, Tales of Demons and Gods. Um, uh, there's one called Zhao Zhuan or Zhao Yuan or something like that. Um, Peerless Battle. Yeah, I go through so many of them. Um, I'm saying you did those things, but you forgot about it. Oh. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, possibly. I can't remember if I did those or not, actually. Either way, it's been absolutely surreal doing doing YouTube, and if it isn't for you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today on the milestones, nearly at 3,000 subscribers, so we're close to that. On that note, I'm going to do a shameless plug. If you are enjoying the content or any of the videos and you think others will, feel free to share them on your social media. I've got no problem with you sharing the video link to people who you think might enjoy it. In fact, it helps me out to share it, to share it and stuff. Don't steal it and post it as your own. Just share the video content. Unfortunately, there are content thieves out there which are really annoying, and some YouTubers do have to put up with them. Luckily, I don't at the moment. Fingers crossed. But yeah, Four Turtles. Hi. Oh, sorry, Left for Turtles. Hi, welcome to the stream. Red Knight says, from your OCs, who do you think gets on with my Red Knight OC? Um, Probably, I think Connor Farley, the SCP guy, he would be interested in your Red Knight character, and he'd probably class him as an SCP, and he's rather curious about stuff. He's probably the best one to get on well with any of the character, any character that's kind of like met. Um, One story of my embarrassment. So I'm driving my bicycle past the school bus. There's a girl I like, got to get on it, and she she is like, "Hi." Yeah, what did you do? Um, can you say next? Say is Nexum anything for you, my purgatory underworld goddess, referring to Demonica in return. She says, "Thanks, my mechanical Marvel Gundam guy." What? Um, wow. Give me a second to kind of like get into this. Right. So Nexum says, "Anything for you, my purgatory underworld goddess, referring." Sorry. Um, anything for you, my purgatory underworld goddess, Demonica. And in return, she says, "Thanks, Demonica Darkstorm. Thanks, my mechanical Marvel Gundam guy." That doesn't sound right from her. But yeah, that Nexon one does sound quite right. That's actually a good phrase. You can use Power Rangers with your characters. Actually, I have thought about doing stuff with Power Rangers a couple of times on the channel now, actually. I just haven't gotten round to doing it. I grew up watching the first original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the Green Power Ranger was my favorite. It's a shame uh, the actor passed away. A real shame. He was my favorite out of them. The guy who played Tommy. Is it David Jason? I want to say David Jason Franks, but I'm not sure the name. I know Justin will know. I apologize if I got his name wrong to anybody, but he was my favorite one out of the lot. Yeah, it really sounded weird for Demonic to say that, didn't she? Yeah. Splatoon. Oh, you mean with the Gopher mech? Oh, Ben, are you on about fusing them with the Gopher style mech armor he had from the Shark versus Nexon one, or a Gopher mech from another something or other? Um, oh, hang on. Morris says, and I, the biggest intellectual of this world, has to offer us like hey girl, what's up? You're playing it cool there, Marin. You're playing it cool there. Have some self-confidence. Seriously, it doesn't matter if you come across as a fool and that. If you have a bit of self-confidence in what you're doing and you're being yourself and you're true to yourself, then someone's gonna like you for being you. And that's the best advice I can give. And people who don't like you either don't understand or they're complete idiots. And that's the mentality you've got to take. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything on that. It's literally that's the best way to approach it. People will either like you or they won't. If they don't like you, don't waste your energy and time on them. In all fairness. Owen Hart, I have accidentally built up a chaotic reputation on USL's and Interact Webtoon. I created alt accounts, so did so much research and even traumatized the characters twice. What? Owen Hart, that sounds evil. Um, Red Knight thinks that the Red Knights and Nexum won't get on together. No, Nexum won't like him, I don't think. I think with Nexum, it's not that he won't exactly like them. He won't trust them because they're too similar to mech armors, and he won't trust them enough and think they're probably inferior to anything he can make because they are kind of some of them are knights in armors, some of them are like Dr. Virus type thing. So and also after the experience in the cabin, he might not like them because they're similar in style to the evil Necrom character you had. So yes. Uh, if Stairs could kill, she would have sent me to Jesus like this guy would have sent his son. Murray, that's a good sign. If looks could kill, I've been under that a few times. If looks could kill, then yeah. It's not if looks can kill, it's if you push it too far and looks can kill. And I'm not giving you the advice to be a complete jerk or anything or to hound someone or stuff like that. It's just if you're being yourself and they do looks that kill, just take it on the head and just yeah, don't worry about it. Um, that's a villain original arc. Marwin turned her to a villain from saying hi. Oh, cool. I'm glad I got his name right because yeah, yeah. Kingpin Creations. Hey, I was sorry for him past. I loved him Dino Thunder. I have to say, I loved him as the Green Ranger with the Dragon Sword. That was amazing. I used to have the toys when I was younger. And then obviously he went to the Red Ranger in Neo, the White Ranger in further on into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Then he went and it went into like the Ninja, the White Ninja with the Ninja Ranger version of them. And then he's been in like Neo and a load of the other ones as well. He's been the most consistent one throughout all of it, and he's just a fantastic actor. It's just such a shame. Yeah, it's his last official Ranger film in the show. I would have loved to have seen him to be them do a multiverse and him play the evil Ranger from that, the White and Green Ranger fused together. Is it Lord Darkron or something? Or Dagon or something? I can't remember, but basically that design looked so cool. Um, just as my theory is Nexum has built the Gopher just to mess with Benny because when he gets on this nurse, actually that Gopher suit it just looked like a Gopher by chance. I did not intend it to look like a Gopher. It was supposed to look like a scrap suit that he could wear so that he could travel dimensions, have a bit of armor for him, but not trash any of his good stuff. So it's more of a scavenger suit because he was scavenging. That is the entire bit behind that. So sorry to burst anyone's bubble, but I do love the fact it looked like a gopher, and everybody's referred to it as a gopher suit afterwards. It's like, yeah, that's a bit of revenge on Benny eventually. Not the same as a gopher with a ray gun though, but yeah. Um, Stella says, and I still haven't thought of a name for the player characters in my Legend of Crystal. Any suggestions on the names of the ancestors of May and what the boy name is? I'll leave that to the chat because I'm used to that names. I have to use random name generators sometime and just have a guess and see what ones work well and tie them together. Um, oh man, I forgot the Beast Tamer Hero. So Hero Megaforce Super Red, Beast Tamer Silver, Lord Dracon. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Fun fact: the reason why the Green Ranger has the dragon shield is because it's Rita's deceased mother. Rita took her out just to bypass the green power coin firewalls. Well, that's a dark fact, but that is an interesting fact. Why the hell am I talking only about girls for the past month? Because you're at that age, and if yeah, it's fine. Talk about whatever you want as long as it's family friendly. That's the only main rule is be as family friendly as you can. Obviously, be nice to each other and help each other out in the community that we've got, and just enjoy the stream. I'm quite chilled and laid back. There are some bits, if you take it too far, I will let you know. And our mods all know how to, handle it and to sort out anything if you guys are pushing it. They have the power. And there's always a mod on the stream at some point. Failing that, I have the power. Ha 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 ha. And as we grow, I will be looking to maybe make a couple more mods. I've got a few mods on the channel already, so we don't need any just yet. But if that's something you're interested on in the future, then keep an eye out. I usually would just make someone a mod in the stream, to be honest. If you've been consistent here long enough and you've been helping people out on that, then yeah, I'll turn you into a mod. But I think we need a few more subscribers before we get to that point. Oh, I'm liking how this is turning out. What do you guys think? I'm not going quite as detailed on the rest of it from the face because I want the face to stand out the most detailed out of all of this. But hopefully it's looking quite cool. Um, Today I started around Dino Thunder SVD. Oh, sorry, totally. I started around Dino Thunder SVD and no idea all the series were connected for a little while. Yeah, it was absolutely insane, but they all connect and they're all in the universe, which is really weird when you get Time Force and the space ones, but they all do tie in together. Um, Justin, it took place in the comics, but still, that's still the reason why. Yeah, but it'd be still quite cool. Speaking about Gophers, Gopher Dude needs to pay his pizza bill for the chat. Oh, Gopher Dude's never going to pay his pizza bill for the chat. Gopher Dude's had Gopher Dude's not been around for a while, but I'm expecting that is due to life commitments getting in the way, which is fine. Pops up on Discord every now and again, posting about Loki. And I expect once I start doing Loki in the redraws from someone soon is all I'm going to say. Then, yeah, we're going to have some development on Loki's side at some point. He's been a little bit too quiet, and the Department of Multiversal Matters have had a little bit of a lax time dealing with him. So I think it's about time we brought some more chaos into the world. Uh, Red Knight, Nexum, I go home now. I found you. Wait, now found your own way home. Cool, thanks, Stella. I do like how this one's turning out. Dempsey, you could do a similar concept to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Pyro crossover, but with Street Shots. Yeah, that would be quite an interesting concept. I do want to do something with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since the DLC dropped on Shredder's Revenge, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to do that in short format or in an actual video. It'll be either a cross between fusing or it'll be something else that's quite kind of like focused on that kind of design and stuff. The reason being is I want to do some of the other characters from it, like the rabbit guy, Usagi and stuff. He's so overpowered in the game, but it's so much fun. I love how he beats some of the characters up. Um, what have we got? Any context for that people don't know? It's a long-running joke that this guy that used to frequent the channel, Gopher Dude, had to pay everyone's. Yeah, basically, Gopher Dude is a guy on the Discord, and there was a vote on the Discord where um you could vote Loki or you could vote Simba, two cats. Vote Loki won, but in order to win, he said he'd pay the pizza bill for everybody on the Discord. At which point, we haven't seen him much since he won. No, he shows up from time to time when he gets a chance to. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Um, when nights that scene in more friend night behind you. Power Rangers teamed up team once in the In Space episode with the awful next mutation and race. Yeah, I did see that. I did actually watch that episode. It wasn't that bad. Obviously, Namco will use whatever they can use and whoever they can use and stuff. So there is something behind why it was that version of the Turtles. And that wasn't a bad series, all in all, the Ninja Turtles. It just wasn't the best they could have done. Um, they tried to recapture, I feel, some of the original nostalgia from the movies, and it just didn't quite work as they were expecting it to, which is a little bit of a shame, really, because they had the costumes, they had the story, it was quite cool. Just didn't quite work exactly as we would have all liked. Um, Teenage Mutant Turtles Fuse for Street Sharks would be quite interesting. Just have to make sure they don't look too much like the Ninja Turtle Kaiju that Botcross did, because that would be really funky actually. But yeah, Unleash the Ducks to the Multiversal Matters. Stella, you've gone quackers. I haven't seen Street Sharks that much to know if they did. Uh, no, I didn't, Marin. I didn't see that video. I'm in heart. What I've done isn't really considered evil. There is so much mystery in the webtoon that I try to tell the characters, but that it escalated. Also, the research I did was I found on this webtoon was a reboot, which I found and read the original before it was hidden, and now the creator told me I can't share what I learned from the original with the characters, and now using it as guidelines. Yeah, you got to be careful of spoiler alerts, but no, fair play to you, Omen Heart, getting the original concept and info. That's quite a feat on its own, to be honest. Oh, we have a new subscriber. Who was that? It was. Why is my subscription feed not updated for the new subscriber? I did miss the name. I heard we had a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, whoever it is. If you're in the chat, I will, as soon as let me reload the overlay. Ah, wow. So thank you for your subscription, Hakuna Rumchatter. Oh, I like that name. I really like that name. Thank you for subscribing if you're in the chat, and welcome to the stream if you're here. If not, welcome to the channel. Yeah, I get a little notification and the thing in the ear, and it pops up about subscribers, which is quite cool. Um, it just took a while for it to come in on the actual overlay that we've got, but yeah, it's always cool when we get new people join. I quite like it. It's super fun and it's nice to see the channel grow, um, which is really, really cool and really good. What have we got? What will your OC say if they met my OC Red Knight for the first time? Which OC? I don't know why anybody hates Venus de Milo. Imagine Shredder's armor fused with the evil range. Oh, that'd be quite cool. Hey, Apple Flavors. This is how it's going so far, and welcome back to saying hi. Um, just wanted to say hi and check how it's going. I'll bring that chat up. It's coming along nicely. We're going to finish this one off, and I've got to figure out a background for the character. But we've got a nice effect happening at the moment, and I'm just working through everything bit by bit, which is quite cool. Just had a calendar to pop up to tell me I've got to work on the redraw stuff tomorrow because half an hour before tomorrow. Justin says, if there was a Ben 10 crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello would think the Omnitrix some kind of device that turns men into different mutants, and Ben would vibe with Michelangelo and also make a joke. Yeah, I think that Leo would probably tell him off along with Splinter, and Raph would get annoyed, and Ben would probably end up agreeing with all of them. Um, oh yeah, that's cool. We got another trailer. Sorry for caps, but we got a Percy Jackson trailer again. That's quite cool. I'll have to check that out. Um, I mean, all of your OCs would say to your Red Knight if they met him for the first time. Um, oh, let me think. Nexon would probably turn around and go, okay, so we've got Nexon, we'd probably go, hey, this guy kind of looks a little bit familiar. You remember when we were in that cabin up in the snowy mountains? We got attacked by Loki's demonic forces. Wasn't there a guy over there that had a similar looking armor to this one? I mean, I know this one's red and all, and the other one was kind of like a greeny black color, but still, what's going on here? You don't suppose he's a spy for that Loki demon cat thing, do you? You know, the cult leader we're supposed to get, but we haven't actually had any interaction with for a while? That'll be next then. Ironfold will just be jumping on the bandwagon. It'll probably be, aye, Nexum. That does look a little bit wee like that Necron Raven character. I'll tell you what, I'll fight the wee lad and I'll slay him. We'll have a little bit of fun first. Find out if he knows anything about this Loki fella and what his demons are doing. Demonica Darkstorm would probably go, he's a demon. He is definitely a demon. And I think we should let me handle this. I know his powers and his weakness. With that being said, Nexon, darling, would you mind attacking him for me? And then she'll just lead him to getting hurt. Dino Claw would probably just change his monster form and just attack him, basically. You know, he just a reflex instinct. I don't know what the others would say, but I think that would probably be how it goes. Uh, Apple Flavor says, beautiful, absolutely wonderful, nice job. Quick suggestion for the ground on the orbs. Maybe make the ground kind of indent the ground, or if your monster is light, just kind of bop it on there. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I will be figuring out something to do with these kind of crystal smooth orbs to go really quickly. I might just make a glow effect layer or something on it, but that ground one's not a bad idea if I can get the angle right. Uh, Marin, good night. Thank you for joining the stream. I hope you've got a good day, and don't worry too much about the SCP stuff. We will sort it, but make sure you're getting everything sorted beforehand. Those take more precedent, but yes. Uh, what else have we got? Andres Rodriguez. Yes, it is a accelerate. It's a kaiju. So I haven't decided if he's going to be gigantic or small, but it's basically a kaiju that I'm guessing from this one he stores up energy in the crystals on his body that stick out, for the bioenergy, and then he uses that combined with what he's got on his feet, like the crystal type orbs, and he uses that to just perform super accelerated um, speed on attacks, really. So it is quite cool. I do like how this is turning out. All right, I'll be out here. I just want to say hi. I appreciate that apple flavors. Thank you for joining again, and we'll catch you next time. Or when you come back, one of the two. Uh, Ben says, Dempsey, the only version of Dino Claw's monster form was from the sea Shrew, and that was just Nexum in Dino Claw's body. Please draw Dino Claw's monster form once he has somewhat control. Oh, there will be. There will be a full-on monster form of Dino Claw in the video. Haven't decided which one yet, but Dino Claw doesn't have full control yet, as you pointed out from the story. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Just this, I need to come up with a middle name for we already know and for we already knowing what the last name next is. No, no, you've given Nexum the last name. Go on, put in the chat. You've given a last name for Nexum. It's not actually been voted on for yet. But yeah, I think it was Nexum Nightgrid or something, wasn't it? If I'm remembering right. If I've got it wrong, correct me in the chat. You gave him that surname. Oh, Dempsey, do we actually accidentally made a monster version of Cancelon? Yeah, we've made a monster version of Cancelon. We've I haven't actually turned him into a demon yet either. That's going to be quite an interesting one. This kaiju is kind of a combination between a demon and a kaiju for Accelerate. But oh no, hang on, I did make him a demon. I'm sure I've done a demon version of him already, which doesn't look as cool as this. So that is something I definitely need to maybe do a redraw of the video at some point. Hmm. Ben 10 Demon series is quite a cool, fun series on the channel. The last one did really well, the Heat Blast covered one, which is quite cool. Next and Night Grid. Yeah, Next and Night Grid. That name is warming up a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to reveal Nexum's surname just yet. I want to give there's a past for each of the characters that I'm working on. Something about their past that the others don't know, and it's kept not quite so public, but it's not quite what you guys think. I want to give something interesting to the story, so there's going to be a little bit of reveals and character development on them. Um, Not all of them is goody two shoes to save the day as you might think. I mean, we already know Demonica's got the start of an interesting backstory, but we're quite interested for the rare. Uh, you read that wrong, Monstar from the Space Jams. Oh, yeah, it could actually be. You did accelerate as a demon, I think, in either the first. Yeah, I think I gave him extra arms and gave him a bit more of a demonic face and some extra eyes. Red Knight, I'm not that bonehead, Necron Raven. Hey, and Red Knight is a good guy, but the demon is not a good guy or a bad guy. Well, maybe. Apple Flavors is back. Well, that was short. I'm back. The other stream I wanted to join was cut off, so I'm back. Miss me. I know the answer is Well, welcome back. Curious, what was the other stream you were going to watch? Just because, just curious if it's anything cool or fun that I might want to watch later. I've been watching a lot of I don't often watch live streams to be honest. I watch Pop Crosses if he's streaming, and I watch Koifish Gaming, who's a great friend of the channel. And if you like retro video games, Cuphead, potentially Party Animals, and a whole host of stuff, including Fall Guys from time to time, is playing as a community. He's got an awesome channel. And Koi, if you're out there, drop your link into the chat for people. We've got some new people, and if you haven't seen his channel before, I would recommend checking it out. It's quite cool. He's got some really cool overlays and stuff. And I often jump on the Crusher chat or play online on there from time to time. So I'm also on there as well if you guys want to jump on. Um, show some support, show some love, and you know, help him like you're helping me. Shameless plug there, but Koi has helped me massively with a load of tech issues and stuff on the channel when I started live streaming. In fact, I wouldn't actually have done live streams if it wasn't for Koi. I was toying with the idea, and he did my first live stream. He had me as a guest on his channel for my first ever live stream on anything, which was so cool, playing Cuphead. So I owe him massively because I wouldn't be sat here so comfortable as I am now if he hadn't ever invited me over. Um, it would Ben says it would be funny if Nexum is secretly the son of No, Nexum could be secretly the son of Buster Terminax. Well, that would be awesome. But that would join the two universes, and I'm not sure that would go down very well. Yeah, we'll skip that idea. It's a cool idea, but we'll skip that one. Um, if it does come to be, then that would be quite funny. But yeah, that was a bit of a joke from my part, to be honest. Right, let's work on the rest of this tail. So I want to have this one here. It's kind of gonna have to be darker, and then these crystals will have quite a funky design, which would be quite cool. Are we just talking about OCs now? I think some people are talking about OCs and my OCs that I've had on the channel, and they're on about their OCs and what would happen if they met up with each other because the community redraws around the corner. A little bit of a insight. Christmas last year, I did a community redraw called Deception Under the Mistletoe, and basically I took the narrators from my channel, put them in a cabin, had the evil demon Loki character create evil versions of everyone's superheroes or their original characters, and had them attack my team and annihilate them, completely defeat them, but leave them alive. And they've been suffering since and slowly gaining back a bit of the experience and stuff before and learning to work more as a team and resolve some of their issues before they come across Loki's Loki's crew again, which may not be the same crew, but yeah. So uh, with the with the redraws, there's even a chance your characters could be returning in our own little story as a regular character, whether it's a bad guy or one-off or something. And I've had other ones where they've met the narrators, and I think uh, wearing the multiverse Dino Dinoclaw, Dino Dinoclaw and Nexum went off to go to a particular place. Something went wrong and they got separated, and then everyone's alternate versions of my narrator started showing up everywhere, which was quite cool. So we've got some characters that could come back later, like Lord Nexum, Dr. N Virus. Red Knight's going to be happy I've mentioned their character that we did. Um, and a few others. So there are a variety of characters and chances for your original characters or something to feature in a video, and depending on what happens in that video, they can come back. I mean, we even had Space Raptors Infinite killed one of our narrators. Ehrenfeld got killed by a dinosaur, an electric dinosaur. He's back, but one of them he got killed by an electric dinosaur, which is a cool story. King of Art, hey, welcome. Glad you could join the stream. I'm talking while drawing as usual, but I'm glad you've made it to this one. How's it going? Just saying that with the community redraws that we do, there is a chance for people's original characters to feature in part of the main, kind of like the narrator story arc that we've got. I don't even have a name for it. I should have really come up with a name for it. I don't. It's not like multiverse tale. It's kind of like multiverse tales like Pop Crosses, but it's not, and it's not the multiverse story arc because I've done that one already. That multiverse story arc is a separate list, so I need to figure out a name for my series. Hmm, that could be interesting. Oh my God, I've got a series and I don't have a name for it. Amazing. Um, no, 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 guys. Nexum's obviously the father of Jane Buzz Hawkins from Treasure Planet. Yes, that'd be quite interesting. All of these chats about OCs and the magnificent voice from Dempsey is confusing me. Um, it's cool. Uh, Apple flavors, it's cool. You'll catch up with things as we go along, I expect. But yeah, everyone's got their own original characters that they're talking about. So um, Red Knight often talks about his OC, which is also called Red Knight, and he's got different variations of them. Cross between variations and versions, as well as his own supervillain bad guy, Doctor Virus, which is kind of like a virus that he's got that he wants Nexum to meet at some point. Um, and then we've got my narrators, which are there, and Loki is the demon narrator from another person on the channel, Gala, not Gala, Go for Dude 88, who hasn't been on things for a while, but he's basically got a cat called Loki. So in one episode, I promised I'd redraw his. He submitted it for community redraw, so I just redrew it, and it's become the main bad guy for my narrators. The story kind of just developed from there. It's kind of like a community built story, so every now and again things get put in. Um, but yeah, it's quite cool, but it's quite interesting. Um, you not say Necron Raven. You have Necron Raven. He's a bad guy now. He's a bad guy. He's one of Loki's minions. Um, could Casey Jones secretly be Kevin Levin's father? That would make more sense, actually. King of Art says, good. I'm loving the design. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying how this one's turning out. Do you have any tips for drawing monsters or demons? Reference images of what you want to do. Think of something, if you want to draw a demon or something, you want to make it scarier. So a good tip is like on the face, adding more detail, like these weird, I say weird. You can see on the inked lines, they're not straight. They kind of curve in here a little bit, and like with the tongue, they kind of curve in. I'm just doing the selection tool to show you, so they kind of curve in the direction where it goes. Adding all these details work. Sharp teeth obviously work, and make your contrast. The biggest one is the contrast. So if you want to make it scarier, and I'll do it on this because this is like 50%, you can always just up the darkness on it. Now it's got a whole different feel to it. If I add that darkness up, now it's got a slightly darker feel to it. And if I add the lighting down, I know all these values go, lighting down. Now it just looks like it's darker. I can just change the scene. Um, that was on 50%. That was on full. So contrast is a good one. If you're doing something monstrous, I would also recommend using reference images. So what you'll find is you'll find a creature in mind. So anything like a dinosaur, a shark, something with teeth and claws. Get reference images of the teeth and claws because that's what you want to do and to have the effect. And then again, it's just make it more monstrous. Add more teeth, add more fleshy bits like the organic bits in here where you've got like veins on it, are quite good. So you've got the let me go on to layer one. I'm not going to affect anything. I'm going to do a red bit here. So you've got like these vein effects along here, and then you just want to work on it in the colors. So if it's demons, you want, even if they're dark, your eyes usually glowing an orange or a red color or something quite evil. Um, think of what scares you and phobias, what scares people, and add them into it. It's a really good tip to do. But reference pictures and then just do something. Look at the pictures for horror pictures like Five Nights at Freddy's for the trailer. Glowing eyes, dark contrast. You can just see some features, some things are broken or scary, or limbs or some flesh. And that's a really good way of doing monsters. Also, don't be afraid to base it on multiple characters for references. So, I mean, we've got Ben 10 here, but I've used Ben 10, I've used a kaiju, I've used Godzilla base, as well as another kaiju monster. I've used another kind of technique like a dinosaur scale skin for where these bits kind of the pattern kind of merges over. And then it's just working on lighting and contrast. That's the biggest thing to make it scary. Lighting, contrast, and glowing eyes in a dark setting. And make a background dark or something around it, depending on your atmosphere you're setting. But those work really well for doing characters. But yeah, it's also depends on how you want to make them. Because if it's humanoid, you might have the hair over the eyes, like with the the girl from the ring or the standard ghost ones over the eyes, but you have one eye showing, and that could be red or a different color, and then everything's pale and desaturated, and then you just have that glow over it. So it's basically take inspiration off everything you find scary and drop it into it, or phobias that people have. Insects are a good one as well. Make them look more like insect parts. That's a really good one as well for making things look like monsters and demons. But also base it on something really simple. So you might have a humanoid little girl with giant spider legs coming out of her back, with her hair down over her face, with one eye showing, and behind the other one, if you want to show behind that, she might have spider eyes on that side of her face that you might just do the hair brushed a little bit to see a couple of the eyes that are red compared to a normal girl's eye. Some things like that just make it really creepy and scary. But yeah, and again, reference pictures. Always use reference pictures and look at animals that you can do. Fish, sea creatures are good ones to do. The ones from the deeper in the ocean, the creepier they look. They'll be really good reference. Definitely a good reference if you want monster type stuff. There is also a book. I don't have it. My eldest does. I think it's the Fundamentals of Creature Design. Um, but look also for anything to do with creature design, uh, because they are usually really good. And Pinterest is good for references. Just don't take the entire influence. But crabs, sea creatures, anything where you can combine some kind of armored insect, sea creature type thing with a humanoid body, and that would work really well for horrible demon monster stuff. And then if you want to add elements, add them with fire and ice and lightning onto it, and you've got a whole new genre of it. For them, and give them really creepy smiles and expressions. That'd be quite cool. Justin says it'd be funny if next near this catchphrase and then Jim Hawkins is like, "Why? Why did you have to leave me for the milk?" Yeah. So Woodlord next, Ben says, so Woodlord next become a villain of the narrators and the part of what doesn't matter. There is a chance. It completely depends on what's happening. Um, Apple Flavors says, "Alrighty, I'll make sure to try for your next redesign or the next one after that. I don't know if I'll get picked, but if I find time between my monthly prompt for Propcross Studios and your redesign, in fact, you've got your best chance at the moment between it because his is due in October. So if you haven't already started his, get that out of the way. Mine will be due around about the same time or the end, which is quite fine, and then just drop it down for it. That's not problem. You can even submit if it fits in with a theme. You can submit the same one for both. I don't know what his theme was deities. Oh, maybe should I? You could nerf the character and make it not a deity if you've got one that can tie in with whatever I do on my next theme. But you'll find out the theme on Friday. I'm not spoiling it ahead of time. But yes, by all means, Apple Flavors, feel free to drop your character in and enter, and yeah, you've got just as much chance as everybody else. Hut says, don't forget my ever-growing story with False, Omus, Cyber Storm Dragon, Arachnostar, Plushius, and Furious. Yeah, you've had quite a few in there actually. All of those characters have been in the redraw since we started over a year ago. Um, but now we've got more people joining, then we're going to get more variety, which means we're going to get so much more fun on these. I can make the story so much more interesting now too. It's amazing. Red Knight, if Red Knight get for the redraw video, I think that'd be cool if he does something about your demon OC background. I can't remember what about the moniker. Um, the redraw for this one's already been planned out in terms of the storyline. If a character does get in there and it ties in with my narrators and my narrators are appearing in it, then there will be some funny interactions. But that still completely depends on what happens with the characters. So it's not a bad idea, but I've already got the script kind of worked out for this one. It's more of an this redraw sets something up for the future, possibly. So anything that's selected in this one may get in the future or not. It'll be quite interesting. Estelle says, as said by Claire, they make it bigger, louder, more teeth. Yes. If you also want monsters and stuff for mashup ideas, check out Caitlin McKeague, who was part of the collab video for the Kaiju. She does a lot of monster mashups on the channel and does a lot more talking about her process from combining different animals together, like a tiger and a shark and stuff. So check out some of her videos. if you want, as well as using reference, because you might find some more hints and tips more than I've explained on the stream in a bit more detail, because there's probably more time to jot them down. Um, but that would also be another place to get inspiration for monster style mashups and ideas for creatures and stuff. But she's got some really awesome designs on there. Why it says he can I use this character for a story that I'm writing? Sorry, hey, can I use this character for a story that I'm writing? Which character? Are you talking to me or talking to one of the other guys? Just so I know, Wyatt. If you're on about this like Kaiju Accelerate, then sure, you can use it for your story if it's a fan fiction one or something you're writing. That's not a problem. I don't know which character because we've talked about hundreds of characters on this, so you might have to be a bit more specific. Um, Apple Players, thanks. I'm just getting a bit mixed up between all the different chats. Yeah, it can be a lot to take through. Oh, one like away from 20. Nice. Come on. Somebody else like it. Let's get to 20 likes on this stream. That'd be amazing. Um, Also, if you do end up becoming a member on the channel, you do get all the emojis. Koi Gaming's kind of like spammed of our narrators and the Venomized Charizard and for Alligator. I do need to change some of them up a bit, but we will get some more added. Um, I have go on with my OC Apple. I can't help that. Yeah, Apple Red Knight's OCs appear all the time, so you'll catch up. Thanks so much. It's really helpful. Not a problem, Kingpin Creations. Anything to help, but I do that as well. I look at other creators on YouTube if they do monster mashups. I use Pinterest for references. Um, I watch very carefully when another creator's designing something. So even slowing down one of the videos that I've done, like the Monster Hunter Kaiju one where we do the line art, even if you slow that down bit by bit, or you do it with Pop Cross's one where you watch the video over and over again, a few bits, you can learn so much from the process and look for bits that you think work in the line art and just see if you can do something in a similar style of how Tifa done if you think that looks cool. Don't take the whole character thing and draw it and then, you know, the whole thing. But if you're using it for design, then yeah, go for it. King Fury, yeah, you've been watching through the 100 Dragon series. I know, that's my favorite series on there. Absolutely amazing. I love dragons and her designs are absolutely great on that. Hey, can I use this character for a story that I'm writing? Okay. What? Which character are you on about? Are you on about the one we're drawing, or are you on about one of the ones that we've mentioned? You might have to be a bit more specific. We've mentioned a lot of characters from our original characters on the channel to stuff that's actually what's being drawn here and other stuff. Um, Apple Flavors, I will make a playlist for that because I've got a multiverse story arc, which has got 20 odd videos, which is a completely different story thing that I started before this one. And then if it is for the narrators, I need to put them into a story arc thing, which I'll probably do this week. Uh, but the first narrator video was I believe it was turning the Seven Deadly Sins into dinosaurs was the very first one, and then it went on from there. But what I'll do is I'll go through all the ones where I've used narrators. You're gonna have to give me a couple of days. There's a few. I'll put them in a playlist. I should have done this a long time ago, to be honest. But yeah, I will do that for a catch up. If you want the one where the narrators first met each other, it's Enter the Splat first, when Splatoon 3 came out. So from that one going forwards, a lot of the videos tend to have the narrators, unless it's some of the redraws. Uh, but yeah, it's just a case of working through based on what ones we've got. Some have their own individual ones, some with one narrator, some have multiple narrators. But I'll try and put them all together. Um, I just sent you a video on a person who doesn't like Ben 10 but still wrote some good stuff on how they do it. Yeah, that's quite cool. I'll have a look at that a bit later, Justin, because I think that is on the Discord. You would have sent that. Uh, Ben says, Dempsey, you could use Power Rangers Megazords into human superheroes. I was thinking something like that. Red Knight's out for the night. Okay, thank you, Red Knight. Catch you later. Ed Draws, I'll say hello. Sorry, I've just gotten down this far in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I hope you like how it's looking so far. I was showing how to do some monster stuff on here, so let's get back to what we were working on. Or I've got a chance to. So I'm just working on some of the highlight bits on the last of this, and then we'll work on a background and adding some rewriting to it. I'm not going too much into detail on these. I want these to have kind of like a broken up look. They are kind of supposed to be made from like crystals across this crystal like spikes down its back, so they're going to have some color, but they're not going to have. Oops, on the soft brush. They're not going to have everything the same, but they're going to pick up some lighting. Now I just want to drop a little bit onto here for some of the lighting bits. And then once the character's done, I can do the background and add a few small things to it, which will make it kind of stand out a little bit more. Because we've done a couple Ben 10 Kaiju, so I need to think of a background that ties in with this design. Justin says, next I'm still trying to convince the Monica on why mech armors would be good for demons. A little bit. I mean, I am planning an episode where potentially Nexum will give all the narrators a mech armor, to be honest. Ehrenfold wants one, and Dino Dinoclaw after one, so I think the Monica may want one. Although I think the Monicas would be a little bit more interesting. So that could be quite fun. What have we got? Omenhart says, I'm planning on creating a villain unlike any other, a villain that connects bits of my story I've hidden. Nice. Oh, we're getting some live reaction hearts. Do appreciate that, whoever's been clicking that. And we've got 20 likes. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that's liked. I suppose everybody that's joined, whether you've jumped in and spoken or you're just watching this live stream silently in the background. As I said at the start, I did put a sub for, you know, having to be a subscriber to chat just because it gets rid of all the bots that might start happening. We haven't had any in a while, but we used to get bots on the channel sharp, and it's a little bit of housekeeping. Saves our mods a bit of a job as well. I have a feeling that Justin says I have a feeling that Nexon would watch the TV show Two and a Half Men, but isn't open about it completely. Nexon would probably try and write the scripts for it and give them all mech armors. Next, imagine Loki working with Lord Nexum. Oh, that would be an interesting twist. Um, Stella says, I'm planning on giving your narrators a Pokemon team if they're in Pokemon universe. So I'll have fun with that. That sounds pretty cool. And make a story. Yeah, if you want to do that, I'm all for that. If you want to use my narrators in a story in like a fan-made story with what Pokemon they've got, that'd be quite cool. In fact, I was thinking of giving them what Pokemon they would have for each of them because I turned them into Pokemon. Actually, I haven't actually done the other episode of that. Might have to do that at some point. That could be November. We never did explain how they got out of the universe where they got turned into Pokemon, did we? We just left it hanging. Then jumped onto another story. Oh, I'm terrible. I really need to sort that. I really, really need to sort that. Right, so we want the environment, so we'll take that out. That's fine there, but we want that to go back here. A couple of layers. I need to figure out what kind of background we're going to use in this. Um, Just in case, Aaronfold is waiting to get his mech armor so he could just play TFK Smackdown on his mortal enemy, the Demon Ben Tennyson, once he before he tricks armor move. Aaronfold won't need that to go against Ben 10 from Earth 666, the Demon Ben 10. Aaronfold's taken a few beasts down, unless it's only a few set aliens. Aaronfold might not need the armor. Would be interesting. After favors, if I may, what first comes to mind when you hear Magic Lion Barbarian? I don't know why I asked, but I thought I might as well ask, so I'm not going to ask another weird question. Not like I won't. Oh, weird questions are fine as long as they're appropriate for like everybody. Then I got no problem with questions being asked. But yeah, I would say Magic Lion Barbarian comes to mind is the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Straight off in my head to that. Or a barbarian wearing lion skin that can do magic, like a magic form of Hercules from the one that The Rock played, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, when he played Hercules. That comes to mind. I would though say I got a lot of first things coming to mind. Um, but I think my favorite idea that came into mind when I read that would be a lion beast person who's a mage, um, from a barbarian tribe, kind of like a witch doctor in like an anime style, like a human lion character. That'd be quite cool. Um, will they escape the Pokemon universe? Tune in next time from Dragon Ball. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. I really didn't take that to where it should go. I was like, I should have took it further into the design, but I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing for that. I had some designs planned out and I was going to do evolutions for them and I had this whole story bit planned out and then I was like, but I need to do this video afterwards because of what was happening with them. So I just said we'll cover how we got out another time as a cheap little, well, I say cheap, as a cheeky little way to get around that episode. But everybody started asking me how'd they get out and I'm like, I haven't actually done that episode, have I? Oh, could be quite interesting. Ooh, oh, it's just gone midnight. Um, Benjamin Neal, sorry, Justin first, then Ben. Justin, Nexum, Nexum and friends get out of the Pokemon universe the same way Kevin got out the Null Void between classic series and Alien Force. Magically happens but never explained. I did think of leaving it like that. I will cover that in a future episode. I have a plan. Um, I do want to do a wacky episode, but I need to plan it out. I've got an idea for one. Ben says, Dempsey, maybe make a villain for the Department of Multiverse Matters being a villain based on spaghetti and meatballs. Would it be cloudy as well? Um, honestly, I thought of someone with a lion skin wielding a magic axe or casting lion projection spell. Visionaries! Oh, yes, no, that would, yeah, I kind of thought something along the lines of Visionaries. I don't know if any of you will know Visionaries. It used to be an old program back when I was a kid, a cartoon. Basically, an advanced technological society. One day, basically catastrophe struck, and this wizard used magic and science and combined them into another world and split them into two factions. They used to have animals on their chest, and they can turn into energy forms of these animals, as well as have giant flags that can do certain things, and it's just called Visionaries. Um, Dempsey, would you ever make a warlock character? I am planning a magical narrator at some point. Um, Possibly. I've wanted to do one since the My Magical Academia series to do a narrator for magic and stuff and introduce it. However, I haven't fleshed that out and I don't know what type of mage or sage I want them to be. Because of that fact, I haven't actually done much in that regard. Um, but yeah, there is a chance we will get new narrators on the channel as well. Would you do kaijus with armors? Oh, that's actually quite interesting. I've not really done armor episodes before, so possibly Ed draws, possibly that's not a bad idea. Kaijus with armors would be an interesting one. That might be one. I do. There is a weaponsmith who could also be an armor smith that Aaron Foltz mentioned before, but never gave a name for in one of the earlier episodes, talking about dragons and stuff. It was around the time Popcross was doing an armor. He had Physalia come out, and she does weapons and armors and stuff. And I was like, oh, should I make an armor character? And I was like, no, I can't do it too close to what he's got the narrators because we've got similar narrators. So I wanted to make some that are quite interesting because we've got a dinosaur one each, but my one's an expert, not a geneticist who's created dinosaurs. I've got two mech armors, which is fine. I've got a demon and a demon, an SCP narrator, and a beast slayer and a beast tamer. Um, so we've got Hero the Beast Tamer, the kid who's the apprentice to Nexum. We've got Dino Dinoclaw, Erenfold Bainsworth, the Monica Darkstorm, Nexum, Connor Farley, who's the SCP guy. So we've got seven narrators currently. Oh, sorry, Loki. So we've got at eight currently. 8 characters. Oh my God, we've got 8 characters and we've got kind of like 8 different voices. I didn't realize I had that many. Apple flavors. I'm glad I sparked some memories, or shall we say, visions. Yeah, I've got so many previous type things I want to do with the characters and stuff. It's quite cool. I need to. Right, let's just flip that. That's the wrong way around. That's better. And then I want to do clipping mask on that one. It seems weird, but it's going to make more sense in a minute what I'm doing. I'm just basically working on a lighting effect behind the scenes. That's like, I want to just Gaussian blur that slightly to get out some of the texture. That's going to be a clipping mask. That's going to have this one, which is going to be more here. I'm going to be more that way inclined. And that one could be kind of like an Adelaide. That one's going to be more like a kind of want to. I know what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Um, just motion blur. Oh, that looks quite cool. Just a funky little wave. Um, motion blur. Um, Go back to multiply up here. That's fine. We'll multiply that. We'll add a solid background on the back of here. I recently saw the Seth Rogen T-shirt movie. I loved it. Oh, what the one where they're the new movie that's coming out? I haven't seen that yet. I really want to see it. I'm definitely going to see Five Nights at Freddy's though. I have got that planned in. That is happening. Literally, that is happening. Um, I kind of want to make a warlock character myself. Yeah, make one, Justin. Go for it. Can he be running on water? Potentially, possibly running on water. We'll see. It's on Paramount Plus now. Wait, what? It's what? Miss? Is that the Miss Kuznets or is that the new movie, the Mutant Mayhem? Got a couple layers here. So I want go back to here. Have I got something I can use on my brushes already that Oh, is this going to work? Will this work? Oh, oh my God, this might actually work. Okay, I might have to change the color of that, but this could work. Yeah, talk about that one. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out if that's out. I'm gonna see if I can afford that when I get paid. Distort that. Change the perspective slightly because I want to skew it coming over the hill. I want to duplicate that. duplicate. Actually, I don't want to duplicate that. I want to alpha lock that. I want to add some colors to it. Um, Orange. No, so that there. Blue's kind of got a tiny little bit in the middle. I got no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just shucking a background together. So if anybody's curious what I'm doing, I'm experimenting, which just go for it. Who's next on the list for the kaiju? Well, we've got either Upgrade, Stinkfly, Grey Matter. I think we've got Wild Mutt on the list. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we've got Stinkfly, Upgrade, Grey Matter, and Wild Mutt before we can make our Ben 10 Kevin 11 kaiju. But we've also got, I want to do a Vampire, Swampfire, Goop, Way Big, Feedback, Spider Monkey, and Big Chill kaiju at some point. Just at some point. But they're not high up on the list. Uh, okay, I think about Apple Flavor says, okay, think about it. An old man who'd been reborn as a centaur and still recalls the experiences from his old life of being a space invading pilot. I don't know if oh, kind of like one of those reincarnation stories. That's not a bad idea, actually. I do like things like I got reincarnated as a vending machine or as a slime. They are some of my favorite animes to watch. Um, I like lots of stuff I do, which is quite cool. I need to check something. That's fine. Sorry, I just needed to check something actually updated, how it should have updated. Um, just my suggestion for when we make the Stinkfly Kaiju, we take inspiration not from Whole, but some of Yamega. Maybe quite cool. Yeah, it could be quite interesting. I've got some ideas. Right, sorry, my internet kept cutting out. Thank you. Sorry if I accidentally budget. No, it's fine, Wyatt. It's not a problem. Internet issues and that. I completely understand. I've had internet issues on the stream. I've had it die. I've had green screen flickering from the connections because it's been too hot in the summer and stuff. It's not a problem. Um, yeah, whichever character it is, if you're going to add them to a story or use them, if it's this one, then that's fine. If it's one of the narrators, just give credit that, it's based on the narrator from the channel, or something, and you know, just do it as fan fiction type thing. That'd be quite cool. There is a comic about Turtles and Splinter being reincarnated from four brothers and the master from feudal Japan. Yeah, they touched on that as well when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles preferred movie. They actually sent them back to feudal Japan. Quite cool. Tegan says my room is cold. Mine, I'm wearing a jumper or a hoodie, so it's quite cool. I just need to put a new headphone in a second, guys. Assuming it connects. Hopefully it will. This one said battery low. We'll just leave it for now. It's fine. I'll sort it. Uh, Stella says Stella Kitsune illustration says I got the Pokemon for your narrators, but I can only do four at the moment. But I'll do that. Uh, but I'll do the rest of them soon. Just a heads up, this is in a different universe, so anything that happens in the universe that your narrators originally originated from will happen in that right hand. So anything this is in a different universe. So anything that happens in the universe that they're originally from. Oh, okay. So it's in a separate universe. So it's kind of like you've given them Pokemon in Pokemon universe outside of what my multiverse is. That's cool. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. Um, merge down, duplicate, motion blur at the angle it's supposed to be at. And then once I turn that on, duplicate that. I just want another motion blur slight effect. And then this one can go over the top. Just enough to give it kind of like a magical effect. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to get that over the top of the other one. So I might need to merge down, duplicate that layer, take that right over to here, I expect, and then soft erase some of it. So we won't expect to see any on the hands, so I can erase all this bit because the hands won't really get part of it. Don't expect it on the leg here. It's kind of going behind it, so that's fine. So the idea is I just want it on there enough to be almost like a reflection or glow. I got more things planned, by the way. I've got to add a color dodge layer here. Use this painter brush as a bit more. I'll just add a bit more of a. This is another tip, actually, using a color dodge layer just underneath all your shadows, but just above your flats. I find this works really well to emphasize some of the colors and create like a bit of a glow. And depending on how you use it, you can actually create that almost glow effect on the body in some areas that are just cool. But you can also then pick a slightly different glow color. So I've got this yellow down here. So I pick that yellow. I want to add a bit of a yellowish glow in here, but I only want it on a certain area. So I can pick up some of these bits and just add to the design, picking up some of the colors a little bit that's happening. It's quite cool. Apple Flavor says, have you had yourself referenced or at least briefly talked about in your multiverse mix-up videos? Something like, and then they teleport into a room where man was streaming. I don't know something. Actually, Apple Flavors, I have a stream which is the Heat Blast Kaiju Part 1 on my live stream videos, where I'm drawing in the little window here. I'm going here, but this little box here. And underneath me, I've got Nexum, and I talk as Nexum the whole stream, talking through sorry, the headphone's gone, so you might not hear me a second. Hang on. Okay, can you hear me okay still? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. I've just put the other headphone in. I'm hoping it is connected with power. It says it is, but I'm hoping it is. Um, yeah, basically, I did a whole stream with Nexon narrating, and he was taking the mickey out of me, thinking that I'm answering the questions, but you guys can't actually tell I'm answering the questions. It's him with a little character mouth working and that, which is quite cool. Do you want to hear my fan lore of these kaijus, sentient aliens I just came up with from lore? You can set up the lore for the general story if you want. We haven't actually designed it for it. Apple Favor says, I'm intrigued on what you're thinking about the lore would be for these kaiju. Was that to me or was that to Justin? I'm curious about Justin's lore actually. I haven't actually come up with the lore for these kaiju yet, which is kind of a interesting one. I haven't actually designed any major lore for this. I did think of doing this as a series, but I've also got turning Ben 10 aliens into female anime heroes. Kaiju aliens, cool. And you can hear me, which is quite cool. So we're just going to continue with these, and then I want to add a bit of a purpley color, maybe into these gems a little bit. In fact, let's add a pink color into the gems. That'll emphasize the purple out a bit more from the design. Should be quite cool. Give it kind of like a purplish glow through them. I also have another color I'm going to add to it, which is this kind of really high green on here. I'm not sure I want it quite so. Maybe I need to make it darker. New layer, that's not gonna. Ah, delete a layer. There is a limit to the layers that I can use in this program because of how large I set the file, which is quite interesting. But I wanted to add a little bit of green as a color into here, just to kind of try to blend it through, and then go back to the pink color. Add a bit more here and there. You give these gems a bit more of a kind of a gem look to it. Now, the gems themselves, I haven't really done much with because, oh, it's a pink kaiju. Wow, that's the selection area. Damn, we need to make sure that's not quite so. Where's the main layer? This is why you always keep your ink layer separate, so you can select the bits that you want. It makes it so much easier compared to, and as long as you've got closed lines, it works beautifully to do. Yeah, no closed line there. That's fine. I'll do those two later. Um, it works really nicely to be able to do what I'm about to do. Um, okay, I've got that selected. I want to save that selection of all those spines. It's quite important to do that. Make sure I can reload it so that's everything. I want to copy the canvas, what I've selected. I then want to paste the canvas above everything. Did that not work? I should have pasted the canvas. Oh, I've hit the maximum number of layers. That's fine. This is why I was going to delete that layer. So um, paste the canvas it's copied, which is on top now, which is these designs where I've highlighted them, they're on top. Then what I want to do is, so that needs merging down. Just fine for now. Yeah, I can take that layer out for now. I want to duplicate that, duplicate that. Because they're on top of the ink layer, they will Gaussian blur outside of it now, which means I can use my trick that I do. So if you duplicate your image 3 times on the software for a quick glow effect around the outside, if you don't have outer glow like Photoshop does, duplicate your final flat image 3 times, all normal layers. First one you want to set to 10% Gaussian blur. The next one can be anything higher than 10% to create that glow. And then the final layer, you just want to change to something like a color dodge or a screen and then just adjust it. And right now, we've just got that really cool glow effect that's happening on it. And then you can just merge them down from where they are. And I've just got this really, really nice, cool glowing effect on this layer here. And it just works. And it's a nice 10, 20-second trick. Dempsey, you could use the 2012 version's tuned characters for your characters. Possibly. I do. That could be quite interesting. Nexatello. Or, yeah, Nexatello. Um, Dina Angelo. Eraf. Donatello Scientific, so that'd be, well, that next to them. So Leonardo's kind of a brave one. Who would be Leonardo then one? About angry. I have to think of that. That'd be quite an interesting one. I have to think of those ones. Um, so we've got these, and then we need to just create a quick landscape. So let's just work on a super quick landscape. Brushes are great for textures and stuff, and if you've got the right textures, you can do almost anything. I have a rock texture here, or was it one of the other ones? It must be another one. Where's my rock texture? Sorry, bear with me, guys. I had a rock texture for materials or something, I think. Industrial, maybe? Organic? Where did I have that rock texture? There was a rock texture in one of the ones that I've done. Yep, I even have anime effect brushes. I can do pretty glowy stuff and that around it, but I don't use them often. Maybe I can use that texture. And do something with the motion blur, because in theory he's going to go quick and super fast, and I also want to duplicate that one, and I just want to do a motion blur on that for the landscape slightly. The whole concept is he's going super fast, that you're not going to see what's really around him too much. It's going to be one of those cases where it's he's dug some. I need another layer. What do I want on that one? Can I get away with a wave layer on that? Also, Shredder and Loki, Lord Nexum and Bebop, Rocksteady and Robo Nexum. That could be quite interesting, actually. That's what I wanted. Some of that in here to just cause a bit of a. Trying to give the impression that he's going super fast. But to do that, I need to do something else, which is going to be a little bit tricky. So I need to turn off, turn off, 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 off. I need to copy that canvas. But while I'm here, I'm just going to export that as a PNG actually. Uh, Save the image, just so I've got a reference for the PNG. Put all of these back on. I then want to paste what I've just copied, because that gives me the whole character, and I'm going to just back it up. And then what I want to do is motion blur him. Duplicate that motion blur. Whack it on the top because he's traveling at speed. Um, that's quite cool. And then I want to create a layer mask on it. Yeah, running out of layers. Right, what can I merge down? Okay, can merge those two down. Give me the option to do a layer mask. So I need to do a layer mask on this. Reason being is I want to use this and just erase some elements. What I've got. I'm back. I just had to hear the new Rick and Morty voices. Oh, I haven't heard them yet. Emma Hart says, "Hey Dempsey, you should have a look at the interactive stream before the stream ends." I might not be able to have a look before the stream ends because if I open up another web page, it's going to go super slow with my internet connection. Unfortunately, I need to kind of like cut things down on what I do when I stream. Uh, Apple Flavor says, "Do you think that hulking characters such as Juggernaut, Hulk, the Blob, or King Shark fused with speedy characters like Flash Accelerate versus Flash, it would be a fun take?" Yes, in fact, there is an actual Flash comic episode where the Flash, that there's other forces than the Speed Force. There's the Strength Force and that, and the Flash becomes a hulking character because he absorbs it. He becomes like super bulked up but can't move anywhere. So there are some fun concepts you can have with that. So yes, that's definitely interesting. Um, Justin says we need to do a stream where Dempsey designs his own take on Ben Tennyson. That might be quite an interesting one to do, actually. Um, right. So I know it's not 100% like how it should be, but I'm going to just bring some of this a bit more into you in some areas, just so that it kind of gives the impression of going super fast, but we still keep some of the detail we've added in a few areas because we want to have some of these bits of detail, but we also want to have it look like he's traveling quite fast at the moment. Hopefully, this is kind of portraying that while I add the background. Um, right, merge that down, add that to it, change that color, create some stars using the sparkles that I've got. Brushes save you so much time, so if you're able to, definitely use brushes and brush packs because they can save you so much time on making some really nice backgrounds. I'm not lying, it's going out quite nicely. Um, the guy who shall not be named voices is just Morty without the voice crack, is less raspberry, and I think they sound fine, but half the internet doesn't think based on formulas. Yeah, it depends because there are certain nuances in the voices that will unfortunately mean that people will not be happy with them no matter what you do. In fact, you're not going to please everybody, to be honest. You're going to find it's going to have people that are either going to love it or they're going to hate it, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Um, I like how this is turning out at the moment. I'm not sure about this background bit. I think this needs a motion blur too. Might also need just bring down a bit to just have a bit more of a just distort it a bit, just so it's a bit more of the purple coming out the bottom. That looks quite cool, actually. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. I'm not sure about the ground though. I think it's missing a little bit of color. I think I need to Thanks, Coy. I appreciate that. Uh, Dempsey, for some fusions, maybe Dino Clonicle and Mikey, the Monica and Raph, Leon Ehrenfeld, Donatello Nexon. Yeah, I was trying to think which way around it'd be. Does the Monica go with Raph or does the Monica go with April O'Neil? Or Shredder's daughter. What's her name again, Coy? You know the one. Begins with a K. I'm gonna forget what the name is, to be honest. Um, right, I want to add some. not that. Add some just effects of that. Ah, that's it, Karai. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. I guess this will pick up some light. Not a lot. In fact, maybe I should change that color to be more purple. And then do the light over the back type effect. A lot of this is just layer options that you just play around with till you find one that looks quite cool. And then you just figure out what technique to use over the top. Mm, I'm not so sure about the background, that's the problem. Um, right, that needs to merge down, duplicate, flip horizontal, flip vertical, shift it just slightly. Oh, we got a nice star fill. Um, Technically, it's Splinter's daughter, 20th iteration. It's just that stole her at birth and raised her as his own without spilling his knowledge. Best version of backstory, in my opinion. It's the grandmother of the Rise series. The Splinter art is perfect in that show. I like the Splinters that just beat the crap out of the turtles when they do something wrong. Yeah, the strict parenting ones. Yeah, they're quite cool. Um, okay, so I need to figure out what I'm doing with. Oh, that's quite cool. Oh, oh, I like that. Can we cheat though? Can we make that more? Oh, that looks nice. Ah, no, I like that. I think I'm leaving it there. Oh wait, no, one more thing. I need to do one more thing, otherwise this does not make any sense whatsoever. I'm guessing we're going to take the pink color, shift it a bit to purple, and then I need to merge the stars down, add a layer here, make it a light color layer, and drop it right down, the stupidly low amount. Find the right pen, and I just need to do something. Uh, Looks wild. Cool, thank you for that. I also consider making my own fanfiction for TMT as well, where I have Shredder create the turtles and Splinter as their mother because Splinter is a gender neutral name. We never had a female Splinter. That could be quite interesting. Could be super interesting, that one actually, depending on how you do it. All right, let's just do this full color at the moment so I can just pick up on some areas because usually the more darker areas tend to have this rim lighting. But obviously the light's coming from behind, so I have to bear that in mind to a degree. So a lot of this is going to come from behind where everything on Accelerate is. So it's not really going to show there, but as soon as we get up here, you're kind of going to get some of this rim lighting. And this is quite a trick that everybody seems to like that gets done. And it's a really simple trick to do. You just got to go for the darker points. That needs to be a clipping mask to make sure I don't lose anything out of that. Go for the darker points and just make them disappear when you don't need them. And this may seem like really bright at the moment, but it will drop down to be quite nice in a minute. I just need it. I've just got it quite high opacity so I can see where everything kind of is. Right, after the stream ends, I'm sending you the link to the first chapter of the webtoon. Yeah, if you just fire it to me on Discord, I won't get a chance to read it tonight because it is already 1:45 in the morning here in the UK, but I will have a read of it tomorrow. I've got a few things on tomorrow, but I will have a look through it and see if I can make some time for this because I'm quite curious. If it's really good, I'm going to end up probably reading it a lot and then going, Omen Heart, you're in trouble because I've done the read your's not done because I've been reading this webtoon. No, I will have a look at the webtoon. I might have seen something similar before. The thing is, I found a lot of webtoon and mangas online and stuff. Depending on where you look at them, they have different names, but it's the same story. So it's quite interesting. But by the sounds of things, I don't think I've seen, or I don't think I've read this. I keep saying seen because I watch a lot of anime as well. But yeah, um, which is quite cool. Because the way the light's coming from. So it's just this last bit up here that needs some. It just says maybe the Shredder he wants to kill the turtles because he doesn't want anybody else to figure out the mutagen formula before they ruin his career, which having vengeance on them. Maybe. Omen Hart says there's much mystery and there's even of mystery chapters that have popped up for a few hours, but I was able to take screenshots of. Cool. I read a lot of comics. I think I read 422 chapters in 5 hours the other day. I did not sleep much. I just read through them all. That's a Banished Disciple. I love the martial arts type ones. Um, the ones with like cultivators and stuff. It's quite cool. I don't think I'm going to put. Actually, I might just put one, just a small highlight there. Just to. No, that won't look right. There'll be a small bit here, here. And I want that to come down here, here. Oh, I'm following the wrong line. I've done the shadow so well, I'm actually following the wrong line down the edge. How bad is that? I think that's about it, really. So now all I've got to do is just drop the opacity of this right down so it's very faint, just enough to be picked up. Right, now it's finished. So this is our Accelerate Kaiju. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to save the image of this, view later. But yeah, that's our Accelerate as a Kaiju, and I hope you guys enjoyed how this turned out because I like the effects at the end. I have exported the PNG out without it going super quick, and we can actually turn off the layer where it's going super fast, so we've got a bit of a blur from the bottom layer, but the layer on top also adds to it with this mask just to give a bit more of a emphasis on the speed, which is quite cool. And I quite like how this one turned out. Next Monday, I don't know what we're drawing yet. I will put a poll out. I am looking potentially to do a bonus video at some point one of these weeks coming up. I don't know when. So hopefully that will drop maybe next month, maybe November. But there is a bonus video planned at some point. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed how Accelerate as a kaiju turned out. I really like this design actually. I really like how it's looking. Have we got any questions before we leave or we end the stream? Um, Justin says Accelerate's getting on the Rainbow Bridge from 4 of the broken pieces. No, it's the Mario Rainbow Bridge. He's going for it. Now you guys can't get that tune out your head, can you? um, Without spoiling the Seth Rogen team movie tackles a thing that could have been tackled in any of the animated shows. They bring this topic up here and it's done in a fresh one. It's cool. Okay, that's cool. I am looking forward to seeing it, so it will be interesting. I will have to have a look, see if I can find that later. That'd be quite good. Can one of the options be design your own take on Ben Tennyson? I will see. I may take a break from doing a kaiju and do something completely different on Monday stream next week. I'm going to put it into a sounds really repetitive, but I'm going to stick it into a random generator, a load of options. I'm going to pick the first 4 to 5 that win, and I'm going to put a poll out on the community post over the week, probably Saturday, the weekend. Um, but yeah, do you have any questions before we go? If not, then I will call it a night, but I'll just give it a minute. And thank you everybody who's joined the stream and who's currently on the stream. Uh, and I really hope you enjoyed how this one turned out. Open Heart, I'll bear that in mind for a future one. There's still a food verse one that you've suggested that's on the list somewhere to do, so that's a potential one. A Xenomorph Scorpion behind me from Mortal Kombat. I hope not. Um, cool. Okay, guys, then I'm going to say good night. Thank you for joining the stream, and I will catch you later.